We're going to do real life time. We're going to do real life time right now. Okay? So, let me share my phone. Could we do that? Let's share the phone. You feel me? Let me take this. All right. So, we got the phone, right? I'm going to redo the post so I got to bring people back. So, I did a post. So, was Veecon even worth it? We're going to talk about the good, the bad. Was Veecon even worth it? So, I already did that. It's already edited or captions on it, right? So, I got the captions with the comment YouTube. So IG people can be like, yo, how do I get on the live? So I'm going to put had some tech issues, but it's time to dissect. Let me fix this. It's time to dissect, right? Now, what I also have to do is go to ManyChat. ManyChat. Let me show you what I'm doing over there. Right? Hold up. We're going to go. All right. So, for those who don't know what ManyChat is, this is the DM automations for IG and Facebook, right? So I'm just concentrating on IG. I already had, and it sucks because it had 20 people come through. So I already had the automation. So I'm literally just going to duplicate it. We're going to put, get away. I don't know what this is. The next post, I already have the keyword in there, live or YouTube. So if anybody comments YouTube on my IG, we're good. So we're going to press save. Should be active. So if I go back to my posts that I have ready, let's get the, that's a cool, right there, boom. Nope, I don't like that. That looks wild. We're going to talk sell without selling. There we go. That was a good one. Cool. Eyes are a little closed, but don't care. So we're going to post there, right? Cool. Now we're going to go to threads. And we're going to post. All right, here we go. Let me get this. I'm just going to quote. So I already posted about the live. I'm just going to requote myself. Okay. Had some tech issues. Now we are back. Boom. Should be good to go. Should be good to go. Now, I could go a little bit extra because I do have a broadcast channel. So I have an internal broadcast channel inside of ManyChat. So ManyChat, for those who know, Instagram normally has Instagram and Facebook has these things called broadcast channels, which is a one-way communication that people are in this huge group chat that they can't talk to, right? But with ManyChat, you're able to DM all the people in your broadcast channel individually so they could get it. So I'll just do a quick broadcast channel and I'll go, and shout out to everybody who's here because I was like, yeah, we're back. Yeah, y'all seeing a little bit behind the scenes about how do we promote our lives when tech issues happen, right? So I'm going to go, what's poppin'? I had some tech issues with my live, but we are back talking about all the lessons from Veecon. You coming through? Right? You kind of want to keep it into like a conversation wise. Join now. Right? Open. Now, here's another thing. For those people who send links on Instagram and Facebook. So you know how when you send a YouTube link, it takes you inside of like the browser. It doesn't take you to the YouTube app. And so you have to use this tool, Link Twin. So I'll put that in the chat for you guys so you can just keep, right? It's deep links. So you put the link, your YouTube link or any of those things like Amazon, Walmart, all those things. Now, well, those where it opens to, but you can put in any link and it opens to that particular app. It's not going to, let's say, open the browser inside of that social media channel and stay on the browser. I hate when it does that. Like, take me to the app. Give me the experience. So I use Link Twin for this. And I already had a unique link for it. Oops, no. I don't want to hear me. So I want to copy that link. Right, and as you can see, I use this many times. So I'm going to put this here. Boom. Nope, that was the other one. Here we go. And it's free for a certain amount. I could show you. I got you, Lisa. Lisa asked, "Is this free?" I got you. So let me do this. Let me send it. I think I put it right. I had some tech issues with my live about, but we're back talking about some lessons, about all the lessons from Veecon. You coming through? Boom. Send now. Okay. Boom. So this is where, if you get a DM from me, it's this situation. Is this automation that I have inside of ManyChat. So just to give you a behind the scenes of that. But let me get my phone out of here. Let's go back to, and I have, let's do this. Boom. Okay. How are we feeling? Was that helpful? Drop some lines if that was helpful to see, different ways that I promote the live. Of course, I have an Instagram post about it. I already sent out an email. I didn't want to send out another one, but since it's the same link. So I sent out an email. I sent threads, and now we have the broadcast channel. Shout out to Matthew. He said, "Evening, what up?" Received the message. Maella got the message. Okay, so we good. We outside. Okay. Before I get into the Veecon recap, okay, before I get into this, I saw a video that I wanted to go over that I think could really, really help our Instagram carousels. Okay, so in the chat, if you use Instagram, put IG so I know who we talking to. And then I got a new format that I'm doing for YouTube Shorts, Reels, TikToks, all of that seems to be working very well, that I want to share, that can hopefully increase your views before we get into this Veecon recap. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Hold on, I got the DM about it. Come on. Shout out to everybody who's coming through from the DMs, okay? Okay, I see people active on IG. Shout out to Aaron, the artist, and the Archies, period. We were in LA and they took very good care of us. I like how you freestyled that, but added value at the same damn time. Come on. I got to. You feel me? Brandon, what up? I see you. Come on. Got the family in the building. All right. So let me show you this this video that I saw, and then I'm going to share a new format that I learned that's working very well. Okay? So, let's get this hold on, let me get my
credit card was blank to me.
Wait, no, not that. Boom. All right. So, if there's cursing, I apologize. I don't know if there is. I don't think there is, but if there is, I apologize up front. But the kids just like hold their ears for like 3 seconds. But I don't think there is.
There's a trend appearing on Instagram and people are blowing up with little to no effort, and there's a strong chance you can too. I call it the story swipe strategy. It works like this. It's a carousel swipe post, and you have a lead image that acts as a hook, and the rest of the images help tell a story, entertain, or educate people. Why is this working? 2 reasons. Number 1, carousel swipe posts crush, because if the audience does not interact with the first slide, they will be shown the second slide at a later time as another opportunity for them to engage with it. Number 2, there's a simple feel to this content. It's not overly edited. You're using photos that are just sitting on your camera roll. You're using the text features to do the captions on the swipes. In a way, it feels easy. Here's what I recommend for you. Take some of your content and repackage it using this strategy with images to help tell a story. Also, Instagram is now allowing you to add 20 photos in a swipe post, not just 10 anymore, so get creative with it. There's a trend appearing.
Okay. So I actually want to
blowing up. People are
Jay Shetty. Okay, so Jay Shetty and Gary Vee has done this. So I want to see this in real time. I thought this was really genius in a creative way to use your images and still bring retention to what you have going on with your carousels. So
appearing on
let's
Instagram.
look at this in real time. Oh my, you know what? Let's do it from here. Let's go. Boom. Let's go on Instagram real quick. Let's see if we can find it. Boom, boom, boom. Jay Shetty. Shout out to Jay Shetty because he was also at Veecon. But let me see if I could find that. I think he's done it here. So here's a picture. He put lessons I learned from my mom. And he has text. He found an old school pic. Always lead with love. Help others as much as you can. Learn to forgive. Always come from a place of good intentions. Treat people with good heart. So he did like, oh, it's just 2. That's simple. Okay. Now I'm not going to compare his numbers because he has numbers. But here's the one that they showed actually in the TikTok where it says, if you were to ask me about my wife, I say she's pretty amazing. But if you were to ask me on a deeper level, and then he puts all this text that I'm not going to read. But this is a great example of how to do storytelling with images. And I didn't know you can add text right into the photos on Carousel. So we're going to try that, right? But I have noticed that people are now getting access to having 20 images on their carousels. Some people still don't. So like Aaron, the artist, just said it. I got up to 14 slides on the carousels. I got up to. But there's some people who don't have the 20, up to 20, right? 10, some people still felt very limited. Let's see the one that Gary Vee did. So let me get him real quick. Let's see if we could find it. He does a lot of content, so I'm gonna try. But I remember seeing it. I think this is more of a video. Oh no, here we go. Oh, that was smart. Here's an example. So he did 2 pictures. How can I find my niche? Don't figure out in your head what it should be. Instead of guessing what's right, try many different things to try to figure out what's right. And then he showed the video to give it more context. I like this one. I may try that. I think that's fire. Oh, yeah. That's dope. All right, let me see if I can find another one. I think this is probably only 2. Yeah, this is probably only 2. Dude, is this it? No, he does so much content, it's crazy. I can't even find the one that they showed. Oh, here it is. Boom. Okay. Old school pick. Trust the process. Everything takes longer than you think. No matter how hard or fast you work, it doesn't happen overnight. It may happen in 5, 7, maybe 10 years, but it's not going to happen overnight. The game is long, and most of you are babies. Oh, he keeps going. Okay. Yeah, so type in me if you're going to use this idea, this carousel with text idea. I didn't know you can do that. I'm about to see if you can. Hold on. Let me find a picture. I have a few pics. I'll get you inside of my world. I have a few pics of my boo that they took. So if I go to post, let's go. Hello. Let's do this because Isaiah got me a funny pic. No, I don't want Veecon. We're not there yet. What's happening? Now it won't let me scroll. Get out. Oh, I know why. Okay, hold on. Because I sent all y'all some DMs. It's freezing my Instagram. So hold on. Let me fix this real quick. I got y'all. Here's the problem with doing that mass DM from ManyChat is that it freezes your Instagram. So you actually, I found how to fix that. So you actually have to log out, close out Instagram, and log back in so it can start working again. So let me get, oops, nope. Where is my phone? Here we go. All right, boom. Now, should be good. Let's go to post. Let's do this picture that Isaiah sent me. If you know, you know. If you remember Quiznos. 2. And let's do this. I look bad, that one. That's fine. Okay. So there is text. Oh, snap. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is easier than you think. So the text situation is right there. Can you add another photo? Oh, and you can add another photo to it. Look at that. That's interesting. I don't think I need it, but that's interesting. But to add text to your carousels is very easy. So go try that. I wanted to share that because I was like, yo, this is a really, really, really dope idea. Hold on. We got some questions. Let me hide this real quick. Said, hey, Nicky, been thinking about adding carousels, but I want to be strategic with it on my new TikTok. Okay. Oh, well, this was about Instagram. This wasn't necessarily about TikTok. But I do know TikTok, and this is why Instagram is putting a focus on carousels, because TikTok did amazing with it, with carousels. So I still say it works over there. So just test it out. Everything about social media is about testing. Okay? It's all about testing. It has nothing to do with pretty much using proven strategies that other people have done, because it may not work for you. But this is why on these lives I'm trying to show different ideas that you could use to see if it works out for your page. Hold on. Do you have any good sites to make hoodies and t-shirts? You normally have great merch. Thank you. Personally, no. Our merch isn't actually out. So when the merch is out, I got you. Okay? Let me let y'all know that. So this is a pretty dope in-house feature, so you never really have to leave the app anymore, which is good. This is facts. So let me share one more tip. If I can share one more tip, say yes. I want to share one more tip that could work on short form videos, whether it's Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, whatever, vertical videos, short form vertical videos that me and Isaiah have been working on, that is really, really dope. And this is really good for those people who already have like long form videos or short form videos that just didn't really work. You could do this strategy. You could repurpose those short form content and use this strategy to see if it works. So I want to get into it real quick, and then we're going to talk about Veecon, because I got a lot to talk about. Yes. Okay. Y'all saying yes, so I could do this. Okay. So, just, Isaiah's like, just one more tip. Don't be giving it all. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. So, and shout out to the 53 people we got on live. Come on. All right. So let me actually share my computer for this one so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. Here we go. Let's do one more tip. Let's do one more tip, people. All right. So check this out. So, oops, I put it on the wrong screen. Ha! Here we go. All right, so I did this video, but I want you to see how I did it. I'm going to show you a few examples. So, let's AI influencer with this tool. Let me show you which one. So this is, I want you to hear it. Fake AI influencer with this tool. Let me show you which one. So this is HeyGen. This is the back situation of HeyGen. What you're supposed to do is copy a URL. I'm supposed to go like this, generate video. So you get to pick the template, avatar, and music.
Stop scrolling. Want to boost your vitality with just 2 spoonfuls a day? But Mama CMOS gel from the Transformation Factory is the ultimate superfood you've been missing.
What do we think about this? 1 to 10? What do we think? I just made a fake AI influencer with this tool. Let me show you which one. Okay, so I wanted you to see the beginning, but point out what you think, why you think this video did good. Because according to the insights, right, it got over 302K plays. Okay, a lot of likes, a lot of saves, shares, and everything like that. But let me show you another one, kind of with the same format. I'm just going to stay in, like, these are literally still getting notifications. So I'll go through my notifications. Here's another one. Let's pop this one.
Nicky, what AI tool is the best for creators?
Opus Clip is another one. You could take your YouTube video, right, the link of it, or upload it from your hard drive, your computer, and it clips it up. Opus Clips picks about a good 30, and it gives you the viral score. And it gives you the same, like, Alex Hormozy captions, emojis, all of that. Now, majority of us are creators, so we don't necessarily like the style of it. But for my regular 9-to-5 and entrepreneurs, y'all not gonna care. It's going to pick exactly what you need. You could upload it to every content, every platform, and it's going to do amazing. So, what y'all got? What y'all got on this? Quizmaster, I see your question. I'm gonna answer that a little bit later, but I see you. So, Dondi said the split screen is fire. Shout out to Isaiah. He did that. Anybody got any ideas of why these particular... Now, that one had 12K likes. That one also had 300K plays off of this strategy. So, let's see. There's a video editing channel that hit 100K but can't get his play button because he barely implied what you would do with these tools and they gave him a strike. Oh, that sucks. I hope they still, I mean, he putting out the information just because they don't because he doesn't imply it. Like, that's not my channel. I don't know. I hope the best for him. I hope the best. Because AI is a hot topic. Nah, that ain't it. It's a good one. Opening and hook was good. Middle and ending synced well. There you go. Shout out to Aaron the marketer. So, what I'm realizing, and I heard this from the Think Media podcast, shout out to Think Media, is where your first couple of seconds, you want to treat that as a whole separate video. Like, concentrate on the hook, getting them to know exactly what they're getting into. Especially if you have, let's say, long form content that you're now cutting down into different pieces. Sometimes it doesn't start with a good hook. It doesn't set it up right. And some of our old content isn't set up right either. It may get low views, low engagement because they don't really know what they're getting into and they click off of it in 3 seconds. So what we're starting to do, especially with the YouTube videos, and I'm constantly testing this out. The last 2 YouTube shorts, we did that with the crumble cookies. Shout out to everybody who watched the crumble cookie one, which I have a whole lesson on that we may go about next week. But just putting that hook to make sure it's very clear what people are getting into really keeps the retention of, okay, I know what it's about. Let me watch it to get the promise. And so as long as we set it up to where we get the promise, do not do clickbait. Don't set up a hook and they don't necessarily get that information, that motivation, that entertainment at the end. But give them that promise that will get people curious real quick. And then boom, watch the views go up. So that's a trick that we've been testing out. I would say about like a week or 2. That's really good. But I unintentionally was doing it weeks prior to. And I realized the pattern of the videos that did over 300K was that I created a separate intro and it went crazy. So Erica said, I got to be better with that. Look, I have to do the same thing. I have to do the same thing. Yeah, shout out to Aaron the marketer. He got that right on point. But let's talk about what we're really here for. You feel me? Let's talk about what we're really here for. Let me do, I gotta do a Little transition vibes. Yeah, little transition vibes, right? So, Veecon. First off, who follows Gary Vee? Type in me if you follow Gary Vee, right? He said, that's the video that made me follow you. I'm so honored. Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, type in if you know who Gary Vee is. For those people who don't know, Veecon was this past weekend. So Veecon is a live event that Gary Vaynerchuk, for those people who don't know the short name. But Gary Vee does, this is his third year of doing it. And normally, the first 2 years, you couldn't even get in unless you had his NFTs. So he came out, and let me see if I could actually pull up VeeFriends. Let me see if I can do that. VeeFriends. Can't even spell it right. How about that? All right. Boom. So, all these different characters, Gary Vee at a certain point drew by hand and sold them as NFTs. Okay. Now they're pretty much turning into, like, he's creating his own Walt Disney. And so from a digital product with NFTs to now he has different, he has books, he has trading cards, he has an event, all this whole nine. Now, like I said, the only way to get into Veecon before, right? Let me take this coming soon off because we're right here. We're here now. But the only way to get into Veecon first 2 years was you had to buy an NFT. Now, these NFTs were about like 1,500 starting off. But you get access to Veecon all 3 years. So the crazy thing about what has happened with VeeFriends is that he educated so many people about NFTs and what he's doing with Veecon and built a community around it that the NFTs like sold out when it came out. The event was crazy and sold out clearly because of the community that he built. Here's the thing that I've learned just on that point, and then we're going to get inside of actual Veecon, is, and I want to see if I could find a picture. Let me see if I could just Google it. Let's see if I can Google it. Gary Vee drawing VeeFriends. Let's see if there's just a picture of it. Here we go. This is literally, this parrot here, this is literally what he was selling. Okay? This is the power of community. Let's state there. Only his community would be like, yo, I need this ASAP. Okay? I need this ASAP. I'm going to show you a video because they have a VeeFriends museum over there. Let me see if I downloaded it, because shout out to the boo. Yeah, there it is. I got you. So let me show you something. Let's go back to my phone. Boom. Okay. Let's see, is this it? Let's go back here. So right there. So my man drew it, created an action figure, created trading cards, pins, and a kid's book off of everything that he drew. Okay? Now, his drawing, that eagle, is actually graded. Like, you know how they grade trading cards? Like, this is actually worth something. We're about to see on eBay how much these VeeFriends cards and all that stuff is actually worth. But he's turned his drawings into actual characters that people are buying, want a part of. Like, like it's an actual art collectible or a toy or a book of some way, shape, or form. So I'm saying this because, once again, this is really the power of community, that at first this conference was created because of these different characters that he drew and made a conference that attracted all these big names because of of characters that he drew. So let's just start there, right? Now, I want to show you. First, let's stick here. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it meh? I think there's levels to it. I think the overall experience was good. So I'm gonna take you inside of my Dropbox of some of the content that I captured, so you can see, right? So there's me. I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna let you hear it all because we're gonna do a YouTube video about it. But that's Gary Vee's dad. As Gary Vee, there's me, right? But I want to show you the actual like stage. Let me make this. Shout out to Nicky.
Something, and I knew how to do several different ways. Something, and I knew how to do several ways. God, it's seen as a point of contact my body. God, it's seen as a body goes into my body.
So that's Nicky on the stage. I'm gonna give you a better view of the stage because the stage is crazy. So right here, let's open this. Open. Check this out.
That's not really a job. So all of those things that you listed are, to me, just one thing. It's all the same goal, all the same mission.
So this was the main stage. Now, for anybody who's been and anybody who does events understands why this is crazy, right? Because one, the graphics in the back, there's pretty much like 2 levels of like TV screens. And what's crazy about it, and let me see if I can play without any sound, where there's always something moving here on the actual on the screens. Because though that place is really big, that's only stage 1. What they did was allow you to keep your attention on the screen, on the stage, whether it is the 2 speakers that's actually talking, whether it is the glitches that's happening on the actual stage, whether it's the snake that was above there, whether it's the side TVs. Like, the production was crazy. Okay? The production was wild. Hold on. Guy said, I've been thinking about how to highlight my daughter's drawing, and this is maybe the way, because my other daughter helps me make up stories for the characters she draws. That's really dope. Aaron the marketer said, understanding and using NFTs for basic art is really good because NFTs are based off creating a community, which Gary Vee has mastered well. Now that's a fact. Okay. So going back to this, the production that Gary Vee put for Veecon with just stage 1. Now there's 5 stages. What was cool about it is that there was like 2 stages outside, one right by stage 1, one on a rooftop that had amazing views. Like, let me see if I could find that one. That one, and I saw Wallow on that stage. Shout out to Wallow. Where is it? Let me see. I think it was this one right here. So, especially for those people who been really big on the Olympics, they had just an amazing view right here. You feel me? So, look at that. Wild. And this, now, granted, it was hot. I wasn't a fan of that. That was hot. But the view of that was amazing. So, production-wise, experience-wise, of going to an event and not just going to a building and just hearing a whole bunch of people, but literally like a true event. I'm trying to see what outside stuff. Oh, this is what the outside looked like. So let me share my phone again. I want to show you. So that's Gary Vee outside. I said it was packed. It was packed. You feel me? This was somebody who found me and wanted to do an interview. Shout out to Ryan. But the networking at the spot was fire, and I'm going to talk about that too. But the overall experience is why I went to Veecon. Not necessarily for the information, because we got to be honest about these events. Anytime that we see, let me give you this camera, because this is where I get extremely honest. Anytime that we go to some of these events that have really, really big names, it's not necessarily for the information, okay? Their information is pretty much very surface level. And it's good for self-development because they talk about like the basic empowerment stuff. They don't really get into the tangibles of the actual topic. So that's the only problem that I have with events that have so many big names, because it's very surface level. It never really gets to the nitty gritty of the how. These types of events are more for the networking. It's more for the connecting. It's more for the experience and the lessons that you can get from the person who interviews the people, the actual event, like the different, how it's set up, the production, the different experiences, the activations, those kind of things. But the information in itself, besides maybe a few people, and normally it's the names that you don't really know that you get the most information from. Not necessarily the super, super big names. I'm gonna be honest with you. And if you've been to some of those events where it's like really big names, but it's a guap of them. Like really, really big names, but you didn't really get the tangible information that you wanted to, or it was so many big names, so many people that the information was just very overwhelming. If you've been to one of those, give me the number one, right? Give me the number one for that. So to be completely honest with the information side, it was mid, right? It was mid. I caught Nicky live on this beautiful Monday. Hey y'all, what's poppin'? Come on. It's just being introduced to them, right? Which one's being introduced? Creating an experience people will not forget, and that's what they pay for. Now that's true. Okay, I'm seeing the ones come in. I'm seeing the ones come in now. Come on. How's it compared to Investfest? Okay, well, let me save that question. Let me save that question. Let me get into my bag with this. Oh yeah, y'all asking all these questions. Do you think Veecon is better than Think Media? Okay, well, we're gonna answer all these questions. I promise you. I'm gonna get to the comparison part. I want to get into the quick conversation that I had with Gary Vee, right? And I'm gonna show you. And I'm gonna leave it to the actual YouTube video because I want to well, I could break it down. I want to break down the strategy more than necessarily the conversation. But let me see. I don't want to hold none too much back from y'all. Let me see what this is. Let's see what this do. Or it doesn't want to. Maybe this is God's way of saying, nah, I'm not gonna let you play it yet, because it does not want to work. All right, let's open it here. Why is Facebook open? All right. That was
I know all about it. Your advice helped me run Eric Thomas.
Whoa. What just happened? Okay. Let's try that again. Where is it at? Okay. Let me fast forward.
Educational standpoint, right? Education, like to where it is. But I have one question. From an educational standpoint, right? Like creating content and educational, what is something that you feel is not being done?
Live streaming.
Live streaming?
Live streaming is where it's at.
Right.
People are not taking advantage of what's going on live.
On like YouTube, Twitter, like all of it.
Instagram Live. TikTok Live especially.
I feel like Instagram Live is going, like it's kind of mid.
I agree.
Okay.
But there's still attention there.
Yes.
And because it's mid, no one's doing anything, which means if you're the queen of mid, it's still big.
Yeah. That's facts. Okay.
So, I just wanted to ask that question, right? Reason why I wanted to ask that question more because how do I want to put this? Even for myself, trying to figure out different ways to stand out with content. Education isn't always entertaining, ain't always fun. So what are some different ways that to stand out? So one of the reasons why there was a little hiccup, because try to go on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, when YouTube has always been the primary. But I can respect what he said, and I want to figure out a strategy, and I'm going to get you inside of my head with this, because for those people who've been following me for a while, y'all know live stream is not a problem for me. I was going live on Instagram Monday through Friday for about like 5 years. Then we had the podcast, so went live. Once that started, I slowed down on the Instagram, went live every Tuesday on YouTube for the podcast. And now we're back at Mondays on YouTube. But I slowed down all the way with Instagram. Reason why is because on these other platforms that he even mentioned, they would always favor those people who would go live. They would give more notifications. They would bring more people in. It wouldn't just be one notification and then die out. And then, of course, also with Instagram, like some of y'all right now are on your phones, but y'all have it like you're out of YouTube. You can still hear it. You can still do other things. You can multitask. So, and shout out to Kat, because she's probably doing that right now where she's on her phone, she's on the live, but she's able to text at the same time. She's able to still scroll any other social media platforms. She's still able to answer emails. So I like YouTube for that part, because Instagram doesn't allow you to do that. You're straight up locked in with a vertical form. You can't look at any other post. You get notifications, you get distracted, you're gone. And like I said, it doesn't continue to promote. So my question to him was like, okay, if Instagram's mid for lives, why are we even doing that? But it's the same reason why people are actually doubling down on TikTok as well. in the season while everybody is getting off of TikTok because of the algorithm, because of the ban and everything like that, it is pretty much prime time because there's less competition. And so for the people who are still staying on, you can be discovered by them. Now, I've been hearing for a while the TikTok live, but I got to figure out how to stream from my Ecamm to be able to do that. Because the live on the phone, I'm like, you know what I mean? Gadget Trish said, that's why I don't like watching Instagram live posts. Exactly. The worst. Like, you can't even check out the speakers' pages on live or folks in the comments. That's a fact. So in the chat, clearly we're on YouTube, so I know you rock with YouTube, but Instagram or YouTube when it comes to lives? Instagram or YouTube? I know for me, I could jump on somebody's live for a little bit, but it'll probably be only 5 minutes max. Let me see what you're talking about. Let me see what you're doing. Done, right? I can't stay on too long because I'm getting notifications. I got things to do, that whole nine, right? It says, I hate that for IG. I literally setting up my mini chat as we speak and watching this. Come on. See? Because I want to support the multitasking, because I do multitasking. I want to support watching you while I'm still able to do what I need to do. You feel me? So y'all saying YouTube, 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 YouTube. I'm with that. Come on. You feel me? But hearing that actually encourages me to go back live on Instagram a little bit more. I have to figure out, let's say, a strategy. What days I'm actually going to show up on. Am I going to show up on, let's say, the Ecamm live kind of standpoint, where I'm able to switch from here to now here to go back here to, like, am I going to be able to do all this, or is it going to be just straight up the phone, talking to the phone kind of style? I got to figure that out. I may do a little blend of both to see what that is. But it goes back to, what are you doing with the live streams, right? Nicky, you can stream Facebook, Insta, TikTok with StreamYard. And you can do that with Ecamm too. But I don't like how, and I'll say this with this, with Instagram and TikTok, you want to give it a vertical vibe. With Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn, you could keep it horizontal. I could keep this. I could bring up my Dropbox and show you the different footage with no problem. But when I'm on Instagram and TikTok, that will get cut off unless I put it in the vertical format, which then makes the experience smaller. I actually like YouTube and the horizontal standpoint a little bit more because I'm able to have more wiggle room. I'm able to play a little bit more. I'm able to, bring up my phone right on the side of me instead of me coming up as this little circle on top of it. You feel what I'm saying? So though you can multi-stream, I'm all for that. I think multi-stream based off the different formats, meaning if you're going vertical, you can do Instagram and TikTok. Or you could do Instagram, TikTok, and in YouTube, you could do the vertical. It'll show up on YouTube Shorts. But, and that's what I got to figure out. I got to figure out what to do, right? TikTok loves multi-screen. And I might have to tap in with Isaiah to figure out what the strategy is with that, because with TikTok I I have a problem if I know that you're not going to be here long. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I thought Ecamm would allow you to direct the live to multiple. Yeah, it does. It does, Mike. IG. I need 2 devices now. Okay. Why? YouTube, because of what you said. That's the exact problem. I know that. Is Facebook the same? You can only do one thing. Oh, what do you mean? No, Facebook. I could do normally on these lives. I'm on YouTube and Facebook. I tried to add LinkedIn and it got crazy. Maybe because I'm not. It's like, Nicky, date me first. You feel me? Date me first. I don't know. I don't know what's the situation. Okay. Now, this is the last part that I want to say with Veecon. Type in yes if I could give one more lesson on it, because this one we're probably going to make a separate video on, but it's so wild what I learned at the end, right? So, yes, the experience was great, right? The connections was amazing. I met Wallow for the first time, which is, some people are like, how's that? You interviewed him on the podcast? Like, is this your first time meeting Wallow? Nick, who's my best friend, he's super close with Wallow, but I just met him for the first time, right? Met Wallow, met Gary Vee, connected with some amazing creators. Shout out to Lonnie. So that was great. But the end of the conference, the closing statements, the closing hour that Gary Vee did was where I got the most lessons. Okay? Let me break this down. Not based off what he said, but how he was selling without selling. And so put SNS in the chat, because this is something that we really got to learn when it comes to our own products and services, and how do we integrate it with our content without doing the typical, I have water, and let me tell you about the different things about water. Trash. Okay. So, Cat's like, damn, I thought y'all connected in Atlanta. Nah, I didn't. So let me show you something real quick. Okay. So this was the stage, right? This, you see Gary Vee. He actually had slides, okay, which really was like a text overlay with his character. So his whole speech was showing one of his V friends, like, this is practical, I don't know, it was Peacock, practical Peacock. He had a courage Katu or Conatut, whatever that bird is, humble pig, all this stuff, right? And what he would do was put the character, the name up, and he would story tell. He would explain based off some of the questions that he was being asked through the whole week. He would explain a story based off the character. Then he talked about the next Veecon. He was like, yo, I don't know when it's going to happen, but there's going to be another Veecon. Then he talked about how those people who have V Friends, the NFTs, the Series 1s, they are the alpha series. They will always have leverage. I'm saying this because he integrated everything that he's selling without selling it. So by showing the actual characters and storytelling with the characters, you're now starting to get connected. And this goes for people who don't know anything about V Friends, about the story, about any of those characters, because there's over 200 and something characters, by the way. But he particularly picked a few characters based off the questions that he was being asked in order to connect with the audience. So now, if people hear the story and go, oh my God, this humble pig sounds just like me, right? This bird, this peacock sounds exactly like me, right? Shout out to Izzy who's in the building. So if this was your first time, you now connected with one of the V friends, and bare minimum, you're going to buy some type of merch. You may not go too deep into the NFT world because you may still need to be courted a little bit in the community. But based off how he showed it on the screen, he had it outside. It literally was like you walking in Disney. I say Times Square because you always have like Barney and Spider-Man and Wolverine walking around. But we'll make it more practical with Disney and all their characters. Their characters are walking around the whole situation, right? The whole situation. And then, so you saw them, you're taking pictures with them. There was different booths. There was pictures everywhere. There was a museum upstairs talking about each and every single one of the characters. You're immersed in what he is selling, right? You're immersed. So you heard the story based off what his speech. Then he talked about Veecon. So you already have the momentum of like, yo, I love this experience. I don't want it to go. Here's a good thing for anybody who's doing any type of event, digital or in person, okay? Take advantage of the momentum. Take advantage. People are going to be on a natural high. This is why merch always sells no matter what the price is. And some of y'all been to concerts, different events, and the merch is marked up like crazy, but you're going to buy it because you want to leave with something, right? You feel like super connected with the experience. So when Gary was like, yo, gave a whole story, yo, the NFTs where it is because of the election, we actually finished our obligation to do 3 Veecons. This is a bit expensive. I did a lot of things wrong. So he hits that emotional vibe, like, damn, is there going to be another Veecon? Oh my God. Like, and he's breaking down all the things that he's done wrong with this NFT campaign. But then he goes, but I got something to tell you. Yo, this is not the last Veecon. So the crowd goes crazy. And then says, yo, the people who hold the NFTs, they get leverage. They're always going to be alpha. So what do you think that means? The person who doesn't have an NFT is going to now look into getting the NFT because there's such a high from the event and they don't want to miss out on the next one. This man did not say, buy my NFTs. Go to the back. We have staff in the back that's going to sign you up. Go to the merch joint and get your merch. He didn't say none of that. He was just integrating it with everything that he said, everything that he did. He wore the shirt. He had the hat. Everything that he did was integrated with his brand, which was V Friends. So I say this. How can we get better with integrating our products and services? Everything from our content, everything from the pitching situation, physical, digital, how can we integrate it more so we can not have to practice the selling part, but literally just be our true selves and people are just going to want to be a part of it. Okay? Now, am I sitting here saying he didn't do that intentionally? Like he was just living his truth? And like, I assume there is a bit of mastery of what he is doing when it comes to performing. Not going to say that, but I also look at this from a sense of, okay, even for myself, I have some programs, a newsletter. Side note, if you're not in the newsletter, it's pinned to the chat. Go ahead and do that. You feel me? But got a newsletter. I'm now going to look into how do I integrate it better. Even for me, and I'm working on this with my writing, instead of creating and those people who's been in the newsletter could maybe see the difference. There was a section where it would always be like this promo thing for whatever sponsor I had or deeper than the brand, to now I'm just integrating it with the actual lesson. Yo, we're going to go over this in Content Corner community. If you're not in it, go click here, right? Instead of making a whole big blurb to try to sell you on it. Now I'm just integrating it inside of my writing. So it's even little small things, not just thinking about from a production standpoint, from a big brand standpoint, just like how do we integrate more of what we do? I'm always going to wear, when I'm on camera, for the most part, I'm going to try, always going to wear the Lines Behavior hat, right? I'm always going to do that because when it comes out, you're going to be so familiar with seeing it that you're going to want to be a part of it. In the chat, I'm always going to say Lions. I'm always going to say put LB for Lions Behavior, right? So you're understanding, okay, we're building a community. Cool. Anything that comes out from it, because I'm part of the community, I want to be a part of it. So we look at the things when it comes to Veecon, and we're looking at it from a standpoint of like, oh, the first part that I have to do, the very, very first part I have to do is build a community. The very first part. This is exactly what he did. There's people. What was crazy was that, and I'll go, let me see if I could, let's pull up eBay real quick. Because I want to see how much the V-Friend, I see Isaiah putting in the chat how much these NFTs are, which is crazy, right? But I want to pull up the trading cards and everything like that. But the first thing that he did when it came to these characters was build a community, educating the people who were interested in it, putting them in a Discord, putting them in one central location, continuously giving them information, giving them perks for being part of the community. When they were at Veecon, they asked, yo, who was the very first, like, who's, is it your first Veecon? People were like, yeah. Is it your second Veecon? Yeah. Who's the first one? Like, who's been to all three? When I say more than half of the people screamed, got up, they've been to each and every single one of them. Those are goals. You feel what I'm saying? Like, those are extreme goals to see people. I think it was like Minneapolis, I don't know, I think Indiana, it was like 2 other places, and then Los Angeles. You already had to buy like 1,500 NFT, something you don't even hold. It's a digital, like, it's like a stamp, like a digital stamp. Wild. But look at this. So remember I told you had trading cards? Look at this. They're graded and everything. 1,200 for a cat. I need water on that. Look at this. Look at this cat. Look at this. Somebody look at this. Somebody look at this. That's not even, and it's 8.5. Got it completely like certified, numbered, and it's 1,000. But his community, and here's the thing, his community will pay that. His community will pay that. You feel what I'm saying? When you have a strong community, price is not the issue. They're going to want to collect all these things. So it even makes me think about it from a lines behavior standpoint. Like, okay, there's certain things that will have an entry point. We're going to have the hats. But what are some of these collectible situations, right? What are going to be some of these collectible situations that the community is excited about wanting to be a part of, have it in their collection? So we look at this. Let me go back. So we got $400, $320, and this is just one card. You feel me? This is one card. This is gonna make y'all look at y'all products and services different. 50, 70, 45, $500 signed by Gary. Feel what I'm saying? 645, 3,000 for a snail. Wait, what just happened? There we go. 3,000 for a snail. Or a slug, whatever this thing is. But the community is buying. I mean, you see it up top. 6 people have already viewed this. You feel me? This is wild. This is wild. The prices are wild. I'm like, who's inspired to do their own cards, to do their own figurines? I promise you, I really want to make the lion into a figurine. I had somebody do this. It costs way too much. I need to find another way. And plus I need somebody to do like the actual body, right? So I want to kind of swag it out. But I want to do this. Because I buy a whole bunch of cause stuff. That thing costs like $800. I'm like, nah, I got to have my own. You feel me? Mike saying, sounds like I'm hearing we will need Nicky's NFTs for the next in-person mastermind. Listen. We're going to figure this out. There's going to be an LB situation. I'm not going to say NFT because he even said the NFT situation is a little bit crazy right now. But it's something I'm really thinking about. I'm not going to hold you. It's something I'm really thinking about, from everything inside of Deeper Than the Brand with creating badges to the hat, to the figurines, to just some other stuff that I'm thinking about. So it's gonna be fire. Of course, Deeper Than the Brand gets access first. You feel me? Oh, that wasn't it. I got excited. I put push the button for those people who are not part of Deeper Than the Brand. They're like, damn. If you're part of Deeper Than the Brand, put DTTB in the chat. You feel me? I'm actually working on an NFT project for my brand. It's a good project idea. I agree with Mike. Yep. Do it in SoCal so I can go. Cali's expensive, dog. Come on, Izzy. You know, Cali's expensive. You feel me? But let me get to these questions real quick. Shout out to Janita. I didn't even see she did a super sticker. Shout out to Janita. If this is adding any kind of value, put some lines in the chat. If this is giving extra value, got the wheels turning and everything. Hit the super chat, super sticker, super thanks, all that great stuff. Okay. What about that bomber jacket? I see what you did there. We can make that happen. We can make that happen. We can make that. I promise you. I'm looking into some things. The jacket's a really good idea. Cause, okay, can I say one idea? Isaiah's gonna get so mad at me. Can I say one idea? So I really want to find this figurine situation. So if somebody knows how to do it or a connection to do it, let me know, right? Because what I want to do, right, is come out with the figurine, and if we do a bomber jacket, my man's gonna have a bomber jacket, and then it's gonna come out with, so it comes out with the figurine and the bomber jacket. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and then a hoodie that has the joint, the LB with the bomber jacket on it. So I'm working on a few ideas and things like that. Like it's going to be a collection of something. So like if we come out with a book bag, like LB is going to have a book bag, and then the book bag's going to come out, and then the hoodie with my man in the book bag is going. So there's different. You look at it from like it's different price points. You feel me? It's like different price points. Like, okay, I want to be part of Lion's behavior. You feel me? So I at least get in through some kind of way, but it'll be like a collection in that kind of standpoint. So that's my idea. But let me answer these questions that I kind of not necessarily dodged, but let me. And if y'all have any questions, put it in the chat. Try to put Q in front of it if you could, so I could really identify that it's a question, because sometimes I be missing it. Okay. How long would you suggest testing things if you have a small following? So no metrics to learn. I'd say pretty much up to 90 days, so you can have really good data. You feel me? If you have really good data, it'd be really dope. So 90 days. How did it compare to Investfest? So do we want to do truth or truth? I mean, we want to do truth or truth. What we doing here? What we doing here? Because we get real truthful. We get real truthful. And I have no problem doing that. You know what I mean? We have no problem doing that. But while y'all tell me, I can answer this one easier. How do you think Veecon was better or think grow with video live with Think Media? So I believe those are two different types, right? Think Media and that and that type of event was still very practical. It didn't, though it had like a few big names, it was definitely more workshop. Here's the framework. Shout out to Sean, who like presented like 9 times. But even with Dave Ramsey, Cody Sanchez, even in the summit style with the online one, it was a lot more practical because it's heavy base on education, to where Veecon was more of like entertainment, pop culture, a little bit of education. I actually met the CEO or the founder of Mighty Networks. If you're part of Deeper Than the Brand, you know why that's a big deal. So there was a little bit of education, but like I said, they were focused more on like pop culture and more of the entertainment side than anything. So it's two different conferences to me that I can't really compare one was better or not. One was you really going to learn something. One was you're going to experience something. You feel me? And Veecon, you experience something. Think Media, you learn something. So there's nothing bad with that. So let's see. Now let me get. Hold on. Let me see if y'all said truth. Shout out to my mom. It's like, you lost one of the earrings. Yeah, I took it off and totally forgot to put it back. Totally forgot. You feel me? Let's see. Okay, so we got truth. You can make me want to get into 3D printing for you. I'm thinking about getting into 3D printing. You feel me? There's this laser one that I saw that I'll show you in a bit. All right. So let's have this honest conversation about between the difference, right? One, budget. Budget is a difference. You could tell Gary Vee got a little bit more money to spend than necessarily Investfest, and which nothing wrong with that. You feel me? Nothing wrong with that. Now, Investfest had more people than Veecon. Okay, let's stay there. Investfest, I think, had like 20,000 people. Veecon had about, I think, in total 10,000 people. There was like 4,000 in each day or something like that. But if it was like maybe a one-day situation, they had like about 10,000 people, right? And more than 50 people, 50% of those were NFT holders who already like paid, and when they trade off or they sell their NFTs, Gary Vee is constantly getting money from this. So this is something that, from a long game standpoint, is always going to make them money. So the budget is different. Like, they were in the Grammy museum, one of the stages. They had 5 stages. One of the stages was in the museum. So budget-wise, difference. I think information-wise, both were the same. Even though Investfest was definitely more of a going more towards financial education, more towards the education side, I still think the people who came still gave surface level. And so your experiences with these types of events, both of them, is going to be more from a networking side and the experience side. Now, Investfest, I'll say this, Investfest vendor market is fire. Okay? Investfest market, vendor market is fire. Veecon's didn't really have a vendor situation. They had really dope sponsors, but not a vendor. Like, they didn't necessarily highlight local or smaller entrepreneurs. So Investfest has that more from the people side, because that whole marketplace is crazy, right? We had a booth last year, and that was an experience. That was an amazing experience, right? When we're thinking about, I think both of them are very intentional with the topics and who they put together as far as big names. It wasn't like, I'm just going to find a big name and just talk to them. They were very intentional. Both conferences are definitely intentional with who they, you know what I mean? Like, here's the topic, this is who we have in place to talk about it. So in that sense, it's they're kind of equal. And then both of them, I ain't gonna hold you, both of them are not as diverse as they should be. And this is where I'm gonna keep it really truthful. Where Veecon, attracted more Caucasians. There's sprinkles. Don't get it twisted. There were brown, black and brown people. There were Asian people. There were, different like overseas people that came, but it's still not the majority. No, not the majority, right? Not even half. Not even half. Where Investfest is a black and brown event. I think they do that intentionally too. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Let me state that. Not saying one or the other is wrong. But when we're looking at ethnicities and backgrounds, you could clearly tell two different demographics, two different types of audiences. Also, let's talk about audiences. Gary Vee attracts creators and entrepreneurs, where Investfest isn't really necessarily focused towards creators, though all business owners have turned into creators. It's not necessarily focused on creators. It's definitely going more towards those people who are most likely still on a 9-to-5 situation, trying to learn about financial freedom. So there's major differences to say which one's better. I can't sit here and say I could pick one or the other, because it's experience-wise, Veecon was dope, right? Experience-wise, what you got out of it was dope. I think even though both are surface level, educational-wise, from a practical standpoint, can still be given to Investfest, they both added an element of entertainment with performances and big names and everything. I think really, when you boil down to it, is really demographics. Two different things. I think it's two different things. Both are amazing events, and if you can make it to either or, really good. But that would be my honest opinion on it. Honestly, that would be my honest opinion on it. So, and that's just truthful. That's not like I don't have no ties to either or. Like, I've had a conversation clearly on the podcast with Troy and Rashad. I've had a small conversation with Gary Vee. Cool, like, shout out to Dwan. Super cool with his team because of him. So I don't favor nothing. I'll go to both if I could. But that's all I gotta say. And this took a lot longer than I expected. So I'm gonna have to make a decision and leave the AI music for next week, if that's cool, because you know how we do. We will be here for another 30 minutes. And I just got back from Cali. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a little tired. A little tired. And my mom also said, just no music tonight. Tired, so going to bed in a bit. So mom is actually tired too. You feel me? Cass said, thank you. Yeah, I figured about the surface level stuff. Facts. But if this added any kind of value, please drop some lions, drop some LBs in the chat. And I'm going to let you know, this week, we're taking a clip from the 2 lives ago about the AI studio. That's going to come out this week. We're testing out some things. So please go support that when you see that live on the YouTube page. Also, we're going to take certain clips of what I've said about Veecon. This is the great part about repurposing. And we're going to put it also in this video that we're doing for Veecon. So I did a whole video, I was in the hotel, gave my quick recap, but we're going to probably mix it up with this live because I definitely wanted to go a little bit more in on it because I can better explain it here than I can just do a quick video. Y'all know I'm better on live than necessarily pre-recorded video. So there will be a recap of Veecon, so wait for that. That'll probably be in a few days, knowing Isaiah. But I see the lions. I appreciate y'all. Erica says this was amazing as always. That means a lot. Like I said, we'll get back to regular schedule next week. Go rest. This episode was fired. Thank you for the truth. You feel me? Yeah, next week, get some rest. I appreciate y'all. Y'all really look out for me because promise you. If y'all said, no, let's do it, I probably would. I ain't gonna hold you. I probably would. He's like, Erica said, damn, I missed the whole live. That's okay. That's okay. Once I hit finish, you could watch the replay. Just scroll back. Actually, you can start now. Scroll back. You're good. YouTube will allow you to look back while it's still on live, so you're okay. But I love you guys. Video coming out probably Wednesday about the AI studio, Meta's AI studio. So watch out for that. Please go support it, watch it, share it, that whole nine. And then, yeah, you know what I'm saying.